Hi, I'm Paul Bright here with BeginnerGuitaristAcademy.com, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to master bar chords in just 3 simple steps. So if you've been playing the guitar for any length of time, then you probably already know how hard bar chords can be. And I totally get that, because when I started learning how to play the guitar, I found them really difficult as well. So I'm going to give you a 3-step system that I've developed that will make learning bar chords just much easier for you. So if you'd like to learn how to master bar chords in 3 simple steps, then I encourage you that you keep watching this video all the way to the end, because I will show you how to do it. So let's get into my 3-step system. So what are these 3 steps for mastering bar chords? Well, basically what I've done is I've taken bar chords, so this is like the F major bar chord, and I've broken it into 3 steps. Step 1 is where you simply focus on just the index finger alone. So step 1 is the index finger. Step 2 is what I call the alternate E chord, in the case of, say the F major bar chord, or you could, alternatively, it could be the alternate A chord, but I'm not going to cover that in this video. We'll be talking about basically bar chords held in the shape of E. That's where we get that alternate E chord. So step 1 again was the index finger. Step 2 was the alternate E chord, and step 3 is basically putting them together. So let's go back to step 1 and we'll cover that, and I'll go into some details. So step 1 again is the index finger. Simply we just focus on the index finger alone. We don't worry about any other part of the chord. Sometimes just basically getting your finger to lay across the strings can be a challenge in and of itself. So step 1, simply you want to lay your index finger across either all 6 strings or all 5 strings, depending on, I guess, the bar chord that you're playing. In this case, we're going to use the example of the F major bar chord. So in this case, we'll be laying our index finger across all 6 strings. Now, a bit of a tip to make it easier is don't use the flat face of your index finger. Instead, use the edge of your index finger. Doing that is going to make it so much easier for you. It's kind of like my best tip I can give you with bar chords is to use the edge of your index finger. It's going to mean it's going to be much easier to press down on the chord or the strings, and it's going to mean that you're not going to get as many kind of dead notes like this. See, I'm using the flat face here, and I've got to press down really hard just to get the string to ring out. But if I use the edge, so I kind of roll my wrist around a little, it's very easy to let basically all the strings ring out, and you get that nice sound, which we want with bar chords, because one of the big issues people have are, kind of dead and muted strings with bar chords. So step 1's easy. It's just the index finger. So lay your index finger across all the 6 strings. We're doing in the 1st fret for the F major chord. And you just want to pick each string to make sure it rings out. If you're getting dead notes, you just maybe want to adjust your finger around slightly, and just kind of muck around with it and just find out what string's giving you grief, and then try and fix that, I guess. Step 2 is what I call the alternate E chord, and with bar chords, if you can see here, I've got an E chord shape. I've got my index finger, and then I've got this E chord shape happening here. But why I call it the alternate E chord is because I'm using my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger instead of my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger. That's why I call it the alternate E chord. So for step 2, what we're going to do is a bit of a trick, and we're going to play the E chord. So just a normal E major chord. But instead of using our 1st, 2nd, 3rd like we would normally do it for the E chord, we're going to use our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger, which is kind of feels a little weird to press down at first. So that's just a normal E chord, but I'm using my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger instead of my 1st. Now what we want to do with the index finger is just rest it on the nut of the guitar here. So just rest it there. You don't press it on any of the strings. You can press as light or as hard as you want on the nut. It's not going to matter, because it won't press down on any of the strings. We just want to focus on the alternate E chord. Play with the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger. So just a standard E major chord, just with 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger instead of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And you just want to check and make sure each of the strings ring out. That sounds good. And again, you can press your index finger wherever you want. You can have it in the air, you can rest it on the nut of the guitar. It does not matter. So that's step 1. So again, step 1 was just the index finger. We did that in the 1st fret. Step 2, we just did the alternate E chord, where we formed an E chord, and just like you would normally do, but with the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers. And the index finger was just laying here on the nut of the guitar. You can have it stretched over there if you really want, but it doesn't really make sense to do that. But do whatever you want with it. Step 3, we're going to put them together and form our bar chord. So this is step 3 of my 3-step system for playing bar chords. So what we do is we kind of go back in reverse order. So we start with step 2, we get our E chord, and we just want to make sure that rings out. And we do that by picking each of the strings and making sure it sounds fine like that. We put our index finger on the nut of the guitar like I was suggesting before. So now what we're going to do is basically, so that's the index finger. Now what we want to do is put it all together, and for this case, for the F chord, we're just going to slide up a fret. So instead of my basically second finger being in the first fret and the other 2 being in the second fret, we move up 1 fret. But because we've got our index finger there already laying down, we just move it up 1 fret and just lay it down. And then you just want to check and pick each of the strings to make sure that they ring out. So again, the third step of putting it together, we kind of go in a reverse order. So we start with step 2, which is the alternate E chord. Index finger's pressing down on the nut of the guitar. We then just slide our hand up 1 fret like that. And then you just want to pick each of the strings to see if they're all ringing out. You don't want to check for dead notes or anything like that. But that's basically that's how to master bar chords in 3 simple steps. Again, step 1 was the index finger. Step 2 is the alternate E chord in the case of what we're learning here, bar chords held in the shape of E. And step 3 is simply just a matter of putting them all together by, in this case for the F chord, you know, it's just simply moving up. If we were to do the A chord, well, we would be playing up here, the G would be here, the F there. So hopefully that teaches you. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you would like more videos like this, I guess, if I could speak properly. So if you want more videos like this, you can visit us at beginnerguitaristacademy.com. Or below this video here, you'll find a link you can click on. If you click that link, you'll be able to get 20 free videos that will teach you everything you need to know about playing the guitar, such as the basics of the guitar, tuning your guitar, and they'll be tuning your guitar with a guitar tuner and how to tune your guitar by ear. You'll learn, you know, over 7 different guitar chords. You'll learn more about bar chords, and you'll learn how to play 10 easy songs on the guitar. So again, you can get 20 free videos by clicking the link below this video, or alternatively visiting us at beginnerguitaristacademy.com. So it's Paul here with the beginnerguitaristacademy.com. I want to thank you very much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Happy strumming.